I assure you, the Flash movie VFX are in good hands. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here. All right, I wanted to do a quick video about this. Well, I don't know how quick it'll be. You know how it is with me, guys. Sometimes I ramble, and don't stop talking. But I figured I wanted to cover this right here because, I mean, I know like when it comes to the Flash movie, there's so much around it. It's a cursed movie almost. And now, I mean, we almost can't believe that the fact that it's actually in production right now. And, with everything that happened with the Warner Brothers and, of course, Ray Fisher and all that stuff, I mean, it all sucks. It all really sucks. But at the same time, it's like, hey, I do want to support the Muschiettis. I want to support Ezra and Michael Keaton and a lot of things. And yeah, but I get it. Some people don't want to. That's perfectly fine because of all that happened. Yes, that's true. Just it's okay to not want to do that. I mean, I always had a problem with the proclamations, specifically the proclamations of people just going, hey, I'm just going to pirate all this stuff. I'm going to illegally download it. People that do that. I mean, we live in an interesting world where people can literally go on Twitter and go like, I'm going to essentially steal this. I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to pay for it kind of thing. It's kind of weird because you couldn't do that, in reality life. Just kind of shows you how both lives are very much different. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about was there's a video. There's a video that was from Wired, and I provided the link down below for the full video. But right now, we're just going to be talking about the Flash because the video is actually titled "Every Superpower from Zack Snyder's Justice League Explained by the VFX Supervisor." And this is, of course, John DJ Des Jardin. Jardin. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. DJ. He's Zack's dude. He's worked on very much a lot of Zack's projects and everything, but it's kind of broken down right here. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought what he talked about and how he broke it down, and then just kind of like, because let's face facts, when it comes to the superpowers of the Flash, some of the best shit we've ever seen. That last scene where he's just, I mean, one of the best. I don't know how I don't know how Warner Brothers said, we don't get it, and we're remove that scene. It's such a beautiful scene. And I'm just saying, now that DJ is a part of the Flash movie, just kind of goes, okay, this is in good hands, especially when you hear him explain all the stuff. So let's go to the video right here. Okay, make it full screen, and yeah, let's listen to what he has to say about this.
Flash.
Super speed.
Trying to dissect how to do Flash was, I think, one of our more interesting problems on the movie. We had a couple of rules for all this kind of fast travel. One main rule with Flash was we don't ever want to see him run like this. We don't ever want to see that.
You hear that, CW? Just saying.
So that's why, almost like $6 Million Man, the faster he runs, it's almost like the slower he gets. You see him rev up in slow motion with the slow motion lightning, and then boom, he's gone. If you see him in real time, you can't even see him run. He's just gone.
They really just vanish. Huh? Oh, that's rude.
And then when you start running with him, he may look fairly normal, but it's generally 48 frames a second, but the exterior is whipping by, right? We always pretended like we're trying to photograph him, but we can never pick the right frame rate to really get him. So he always starts to really almost fly. In the Junction rescue scene where Barry Allen is rescuing Iris, from this car accident, we came up with a couple of rules. One was, if everything else in the world, when you're in flash time with him, looks like it's at 600 frames per second or more, Barry Allen's able to move at a different frame rate, but not quite 24 frames per second normal. We usually shot him at 48 frames per second just to give him a little float. But we knew we have to get into a green screen stage and start doing everything from there. We're like, okay, we need to make that environment in CG. We need to make the crash in CG. And Kiersey's going to have to be on some kind of rig to float her that's pretty controllable and she's going to have to act frozen.
Okay, props to Kirstie Clemons for having to do that. I mean, my God, she had to be like that in this harness, and she had to be as still as possible. That's insane. That's crazy. I love that.
She moves, we're going to have to stabilize her in post. And so if you look at the footage, it's pretty interesting because first she's in her costume on a Kuka arm motion control rig being floated up while Ezra looks up at her. You pull their hair back, and then you make CG hair that can dovetail into their real hairline and make it float the way you need to float. And as Ezra looked like he was just about to touch her, she would start to roll, and he would just kind of pretend to guide her down without touching her too much.
Damn. Okay, so that's not it, guys. That's not it. When it comes to this, there's a part 2 of this that I'm going to show right here. Oh. Yeah, this, like I said, I mean, the genius that it takes. I mean, it takes everybody. I mean, it takes Zack. It takes the VFX art. It takes a lot of people just to come up with, like, how are you going to shoot this? To just make it go like, okay, yes. Again, I mean, I didn't mean to make that. I mean, yes, I did mean to make that jab at CW because, yeah, sometimes it's just this whole thing. It's just, it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. So here we go.
You can't grab someone and save them until she's on the ground. And her clothes kind of get flowy and her hair gets flowy. And then when she's down on the ground, then we kind of go into real time.
Okay, so that's another thing too, is like, yeah, the Flash just can't, I mean, when he's in his Speed Force reality, the reality of that, it's like, okay, if you move, I mean, they kind of touched a little bit on this when it came to Quicksilver in the X-Men universe. You know, what he's talking about, I mean, even when he moved Magneto, and he goes, yeah, you're gonna, you know, I'm going to hold your head because you don't want to get whiplash. And then, of course, you're going to feel nauseous, which he did. And when it comes to this, it's like, yeah, he had to carefully place her on the ground. Like, even though when we see the Flash, like, say, you know, it's just kind of funny how, I mean, you could have probably, when you see Barry's reality of like what he has to do and be very gentle. I mean, even though this is like a crazy superpower, it's like you could literally just instantly kill somebody if you just one wrong move. So props to Barry, man. And just props to these guys for coming up with the physics of all this. It's insane.
The time travel was always a part of the end of the movie. Every one of the Justice League has a particular thing they have to do in the fight at the end. Flash's main job is to build up a charge and give it to Cyborg to be able to do what he needs to do.
Yeah. I can conduct a significant electrical current. I might be able to wake the box.
But weird things happen.
What I love about that scene too is like some people kind of wonder, like, you know, it does reverse a little bit. It's called foreshadowing. I mean, that's what it was. It was kind of showing that, yeah, when he even says like freaky things happen when he reaches the speed of light. But that's what's so great about that scene is like all he had to do was like do a charge, but with Zack and, you know, just the storytelling was like, hey, see what happens when he gets to the speed of light? Time reverses. So that's going to come later, significantly, obviously.
Happen as I get close to the speed of light. The time travel thing is fun because Zack was very clear. He wanted the mother boxes to merge. The effect would essentially erase the planet, just erase everything. And he wanted it to be a void, like just a void quasar at the origin. And
God, I love that shot.
It would become very beautifully cosmic. And the origin of that would come with each of Flash's footsteps.
See, I mean, there's just something
like a big bang to come out of each footstep. And that starts to repopulate the void, which when you look behind him, you realize he's actually like a tidal wave pulling. And you have to remember how much time he's actually pulling. 6 seconds of time back is what he's doing. It's not much, but it's huge. It's like the hugest thing ever.
See, that's just so brilliant. That's what I love about this, man. I mean, it's just so good, just so fucking good. 6 seconds. I mean, literally. I mean, when the unity happens, and I mean, it's just 6 seconds right there that they determined that was that whole scene, that beautiful scene, cinematic superhero scene was just like 6 seconds. That he just like reversed that shit. So I'm just saying, like, anybody who's kind of worried about how they're going to handle Flash's powers when it comes to his movie, I think we're going to be okay with it because, you know, and the fact that DJ and, you know, guys like Brian Hirota, you know, they weren't probably going to do it because they were like, all right, after the experience with Justice League, time to move on. Let's go on to other things, like kind of leave the superhero stuff behind. But then something clicked when they talked to the Muschiettis, and now they're involved. I'm just saying, if you had any kind of reservations about what was going to be happening, I think just listening to DJ right there just kind of just shows you, like, hey, it's in good hands when it comes to the VFX, regardless of the other reasons why. If like maybe you don't want to see it, that's fine. Like I said, it's fine. This video is probably not for those people, and I'm just kind of saying, like, hey, Flash VFX, I think we're gonna be good. It's just funny how he like mentioned about the because I mean, you see the gifs. That's why I stopped watching the Flash show. I mean, it's got to be kind of ridiculous for the actors that be in front of a green screen to do this. You know, that's why I'm glad when they came up with the idea of like, no, like when he's doing that, he's taking strides. You know, but you know, in the Speed Force and everything, it's like that's what's happening. It's not this, it's this. So it's just, it looks less ridiculous. But then some people probably, you know, are reverse on it. Who knows? Who cares? I think, yeah, like I said, in good hands. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts about it down below. What did you think about this video and what did you have to say? Hit that like, thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm doing this stuff. If you want to join Film Junkie, hit the join button and get some members only perks. And then, of course, we've got Patreon if you want to get some perks over there too and help out the pirate ship. Surely would appreciate it. And then, of course, merchandise. Hey, like this shirt, Back to the Future Flashpoint shirt. It's down below. All right, guys, talk to you later.